Welcome to Ambitious Tech Mamas, a podcast for moms who are making big moves at work and at home. Here, we keep it real about careers, relationships, and the beautiful, messy balance of motherhood.
This is your space to be authentic, to feel seen, and to remind yourself that grace is just as important as ambition. You are not alone, so let's navigate this journey together.
All right. Hello, all, and welcome to episode 3 of Ambitious Tech Mamas. You might notice that we've got a third person in between Nyasia and I, and we are excited because this is our first time where we have a guest with us. So I would love to welcome my good friend, Bree Brown. Yay. Hello, Bree.
Hi. Thank you for having me. I feel so honored to be your first guest.
Yay. It should be fun. I've known Bree, for years, but she is a mom and she is in tech and she's a good friend. And she's fun. So I figured that makes for a good recipe, I'll say, for us to have her on as a guest. So welcome, Bree, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. As we have been doing, we have been enjoying the Glow and Grow with all of you. So we figured we'd start again with that. And so, Nyasia, you want to kick us off with what's your Glow and Grow from this week?
Sure. So I think my glow and grow is the same. It's just surviving the week. We are on spring break for kid. So we are having a lot of snacks and coming up with creative ideas of what to do. So I made it through the week. So I'm going to say that's my glow and grow. Bree, how about you?
So Tuesday, I drove my muscle car to work, and it was really fun until it wasn't. It broke down in the middle of the road, and I had to get off the road, which was great. So 2 teenagers and a man helped me get it off the road. It was amazing. But the craziest thing happened. I was sitting there in the parking lot of KFC just trying to get my car started. And all of a sudden, this truck pulls up and my child jumps out in a truck I didn't even recognize. It was his work truck. And he came over and he totally helped me get it into a parking spot. And it was just the craziest coincidence. I'm like, why are you here? He's like, why are you here?
Weird.
So it felt really, really good that he stopped to help and recognize me and my situation in a weird place. And he was just really sweet. He's 19, so sweet is not always on the menu.
That is fair.
Well, you did a good job raising him to stop by and help people.
Yeah.
I try hard.
There you go.
Now, is that both the glow and grow as well?
Yes.
Both? Okay.
It was a whole thing.
All right. Hey, that is fair. I'm going to do 2 separate ones, if that's okay, ladies, for my glow and my grow. I will say for the glow, I'm going to go back to work, which I promise I'm going to do one about the kids at some point. But I did the work one last week, so I'm going to keep with that. I started a new team from the bottom up about 2 months ago. And sometimes you just feel like you're doing things and you don't know if it's landing or if they like what you're doing or if they even like you. And I'm not a woman that needs a lot of validation, but I've just been rolling and I've been really hard on the team because we have a lot of pressure on us. And my glow, I will say, is that I asked for feedback, like our formal feedback that we do at work, from somebody that has me as a skip level. And he wrote the nicest thing. Again, I don't need validation, but he was so nice in terms of, you're making a difference. I feel valued and inclusive and all of those things. So I'm going to say that one of those moments where I needed the validation, even though I didn't realize I needed the validation.
I love that. Maybe
but
you
I
should be
loved it.
harder on him.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to tell him, quick, work harder. No. We'll not do that. Don't worry. If you're listening, sir, at some point. Awkwardly. All right. My grow, I will say, is the kid one, which I promise will not always be kids for grows either. I am going to break this habit next time. But this one is kind of light, but for me, it was heavy. My child is in swim lessons, so that's light. It is not the biggest thing in the world.
Which child?
The older kid, so
Okay.
6-year-old. And she has been at the same hat, which they graduate. As they graduate, they get different color hats. She's been at the same hat for over a year. Now, I won't talk too much about it, but she is as skinny comes, and so she does not float. And it's been really hard for her to just frickin' float. And they made her take her wetsuit off, and it's been harder. So she tested this last week. And I wanted so bad for her to pass, and she didn't. And it's one of those reminders that when you see just the level of defeatedness and disappointment in your child's face, that your heart sinks stinks because you feel everything they feel. But in that moment, I had to pump her up. And I will say, I texted husband because he wasn't with me. He goes, all right, cool. Well, then let's just yank her and quit. I was like, no, sir, we are not doing that. I need her to know what it feels like to be defeated and then to achieve after that defeatment. And so I will keep y'all posted on when she gets that damn hat color because she is. But I had to be her cheerleader, and it was hard because I just wanted to cry behind closed doors, but I couldn't. So that was my grow.
You have high expectations.
I know now, just like the man that works for me at work, too.
No, she'll be fine.
Yes.
She'll be fine. I can't float either, so.
Good. Well, she's in good company.
You know, sometimes it's okay to quit and come back.
Yeah,
there you go. There you go.
True.
Not my child, though. She's gonna get that hat. Trust me, she will get that colored hat.
I bet it's a good color.
Yeah. No, it's green. We're going from red to green like Christmas. So
Yeah.
it'll be her. It'll
Green
be her
means
present.
go.
Yeah, exactly.
Green does mean go. Good.
Good.
Okay. So, the topic for this episode is life on your own timeline. You know, so who says we have to follow rules? I'm a habitual rule breaker, so I'm with it. So, we're just gonna jump right into it, and I'm gonna ask. Bree, I'll start with you. What's one thing in life you did where the timing didn't really match conventional norms? You was like, forget this, I'm doing it my way.
Yeah, I got pregnant early. I was not married, and I had my son at 23. So now I'm an empty nester, which is just weird, honestly, because most of my friends have kids. Sure. And they're either small or some are teenagers, but most of them are younger than teenagers, I would say. And so that's just been an interesting journey, because when I was pregnant, I didn't have a lot of pregnant friends or people I could reach out to, you know, mom groups, because every time I tried something like that, it just got a little weird because I was a lot younger than most of the moms, I would say. I wasn't a teen mom, but it felt like it at times. So now I have all of this time on my hands, and I'm reliving my 20s.
Hey, that's a great way of looking at it.
And you can be the best Auntie Brie that comes to the kids' birthday parties dressed up like princesses and all the things.
Absolutely.
See, look at that.
Kids that can help you on the side of the road, because my kid can't help me on the side of the road. And they're only 10, so that won't help it. So,
well, mine certainly cannot, because like we said, she's still puking, and I'm finding the puke later. So, different stages of life.
yes.
I love it.
All right, Nyasia, what about you?
For me, I would say it's my relationship with my husband. So we dated for 10 years. So we were babies when we got together.
How old were you?
I was 17, he was 18.
Yeah.
When we got together. So we dated for 10 years. And then we got married on our 10-year anniversary.
I think that's really cute.
Yeah, partially was cute. The other part was so that he didn't forget the date. So
that's why I had mine engraved on the rings.
I did too, and then
there
he
you
lost
go.
his ring.
Yeah.
And
no.
on our honeymoon,
Oh gosh.
we were on a cruise. They was able to return the ring. He was playing basketball.
Of course.
They was able to return the ring because my name was on the inside of the ring.
Oh, see, there you go.
I love it.
I feel like we're getting lessons across the board.
Absolutely.
I'm
bad with
and
dates.
so I think that's different. You know, in the sense that, you know, usually, you know, we waited for a while. I mean, if you ask him, he's gonna say he had to make sure he was sure, but you know,
He was sure.
he was sure.
Let's be clear.
But yeah, we were so young also. We needed that exploratory time. Because we went in it saying that divorce wasn't an option. And so we went through all that living together, understanding each other, and all those trials that people go through after they get married. I think that was the blessing behind it for us, that we were able to get to know each other for real. Like, I'm never going to pick up my towels, right? Like, he knows that now. I know he's always
that is a very specific example.
He knows. I know he's always going to put the remote under the pillows, right? Like, we know that. So that's not an argument anymore. I know when I need to watch TV, go under the pillows. So.
I love that.
There you go.
Also, you didn't have Barbieto pressuring him
Right.
to pop the question.
Are we talking from experience, Brie? Okay.
Maybe.
We'll put that to the side. All right. I'm a good friend. That's all I'm saying.
Yes,
True.
I'm a
It's
good
true.
friend.
That was not a negative.
And what about you?
All right. You know what? You stole mine, but I'm still going to talk about mine. I was 17 when we got together, and we were together for 11 years before he even popped the question. So I think we were at like 12 and a half years when we got married. All the things that you said, yeah, good things. Mine was also money. I'll be clear, because we had to pay for everything. And so I was like, nope, I want a house first. I want nice cars. I want to be settled. And we had to pay for our own wedding. And I was like, I want a good party. So, and some people had a good time at the party.
That would be me.
But we had a good wedding at a good party. And so to your point, yeah, we learned about each other. It's interesting because you either grow with each other or you grow apart, and that's okay. And we have been through, all of the growing pains, fun, love, all the good things. So similar to you. Yeah. 11 years.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to switch gears a little bit, but still with the theme on life on your own timeline. So talking a little bit about, was there a time that you put family first ahead of career? What did that look like? Any setbacks in terms of timeline milestones or anything along those lines? You want to start, Nyasia?
Sure. So I believe everything happens for a reason. You know, everything happens in the time that it's supposed to. For me, though, I integrate my personal calendar with my work calendar. So therefore, there isn't a question as to when my family comes first. You know, they always comes first, right? So I always know I have my daughter's stuff highlighted in a certain color. So I'm like, okay, if there's a meeting here and she has this, I'm going to ask for that meeting to be moved where it's possible, right?
That's
I'm
great.
not afraid to say, no, I have to be here for this. And so I think for me, putting family first means prioritizing that by putting it on the calendar. If it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist.
How is it received at work?
You know, so thankfully, I've been blessed with managers who understand that, who are either parents themselves or that just understand. And then two, when I come into a job or have a new manager, I'm very upfront with my expectations, with what I want and how I want it, right? And it's like, hey, and now if they are already forthcoming with it, like, you know, we support family first, that's one conversation we don't have to have. But when they aren't, it's like, hey, I have a family, I have a daughter, you know, she needs XYZ. Being a present parent is non-negotiable. So I think for me, family will always come first. I can always find another job, but I can't get back year 6 of my daughter's life when she's, you know, coloring everything and, you know, need to discuss, you know. And so I think for me, I always put family first by prioritizing and vocalizing what's important for me.
That's awesome.
So, all right, Bree, so how about you?
When I had to put my family first, it was actually when my son's father asked me to go part-time at work. And it was very stressful for me because I've always paid my way. I moved out when I was 17 years old. And I had to pay for everything. I had to pay for my rent and bills and car and insurance and all of the things. So I was wondering, how am I going to support myself working part-time? I didn't quit my job, thank God, because that would have been detrimental to my career. And it was stressful because I wanted to do the right thing for my family, but I also didn't want to feel like I had to depend on anybody else. So I did go part-time at my job as a 911 police and fire dispatcher, but I didn't quit. And that was the compromise that I made. And actually, it worked out pretty well because I did get to spend much more time with my son and my family and do more things, go on more trips. You know, I didn't have to worry about working holidays. Stuff like that people don't really think about, but I would work nights, holidays, weekends, all of the things. So that was a really good time in my life, but it was also, looking back, I'm like, oh, but I missed out on 18 months of pension, so. What about you, Barbieto?
Yeah, as mentioned, it was really easy for me to have my first kid in terms of just getting pregnant. And the second one was a little bit harder. It took over a year, and I came upon an opportunity to potentially have a new job. And I talked to a lot of mentors, and I actually got advice to maybe stop trying to have a kid, just to make sure that you're not juggling a lot when it comes to potentially having a new baby and a new job that happened to be a high pressure one. And so for me, prioritizing my family, I did not listen to that advice, and instead I kept on with the journey. Yeah, so I kept on with the journey. I eventually got pregnant, and even though it was a high pressure job, I survived and I did both. So I definitely did not listen to that advice and kept on with prioritizing family.
I just have to throw it out there. Men don't have to worry about this situation.
I know.
They don't have to be told not to have a family.
I know. Or expand your family in my case. It's hard.
It is.
It is.
You know, it's really sad too. I mean, what if you were trying to adopt or something? Like,
Yeah.
the timeline is really, it's not up to you.
Yeah.
Like you
Exactly.
said, things happen for a reason. They happen when they happen. You don't have control over that.
Nope.
Yep.
Well, we're happy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Both babies are here and healthy.
They are. Yes.
And adorable.
Thank you. All right, so continuing on the, I know men don't have to worry about it, so let's put our man pants on and let's see if we can put career first. So thinking about that question, was there a time when you put career first? What did that look like? Do you want to start, Nyasia?
Sure. So for me, I think it was when we moved out here from the East Coast. Our daughter was about 3 to 4 months old, and I was good at home. The East Coast is still home to me.
Yeah.
And so I was good at home when we just had her. But there was a blessing on this side of the world that I didn't know about. And I felt that, you know what, we're going to have to just try it, right? And so staying at home in New York would have been comfortable. Career-wise, things were good. We have family there and everything. There was no real reason to leave.
Right.
But when my husband and I sat down and we did a pro and con list and tried to see, okay, what makes sense? We prayed on it. We talked to people, and we did it all. And then finally it was like, this is an opportunity that we just have to just go on and try. And so for that, we put the career first, or I put the career first.
And your daughter was young.
Very young. So first baby, cross country move, new job.
Yeah,
into
that's a
tech.
lot going on.
Yeah.
Look at that.
But I survived. 10 years later.
Yeah, look at you now.
Less here, but still doing well. So, yes. What about you?
I really had to figure it out as I went. So when different opportunities came up at work, I wasn't necessarily qualified because I didn't have a degree. And so in order to further my career, I had to start thinking about going back to college. And I decided that was the best thing to do for my career. So I applied, and I only had 2 credits transfer over for my...
That's okay. It's better
It's
than none.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have to take a science class. I was really happy about it. But I did have to start from scratch, and it was very daunting. I think Tyson was 12 or 13. He was in Premier Soccer. So I was juggling a lot, working full time, and then prioritizing college in order to further my career. I was like, that's the only way I think I'm going to get ahead. And I was able to accelerate, which was fantastic. So I finished my 4-year degree in 2 years, 2 months, which I'm very proud about.
Yes.
And because of that, I was able to further my career in places I didn't even think I could go.
That's awesome.
So I'm working in a tech world, but I'm also working under legal, and I love all things legal.
I'm with you. I am with you.
Like, when I grow up, I'm going to be a lawyer.
Oh, I love that. And fun fact is that you graduated at the same time as my husband as well. So that's kind of a fun piece. You were both in your 30s, so never
Yes.
too late in terms of, like we said, owning your own timeline. So that's
right.
a good takeaway.
I graduated in 2019, and so did your husband.
Yep.
And so did my coworker. And so all 3 of us got to walk together, sit together, and really celebrate together. And it was extra special because of that. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize how much more special that could be.
Totally. I love
it.
that.
Oh, see, we both love it.
Yeah, look at us. Gosh, we are in sync.
It's a trio.
Yes, look, very cute. I will say for me, going back to that job, so just keeping with that continuity, like I said, I kept trying for the baby. I had the hard, high pressure job that I applied for while I was trying to get pregnant. And that was a time that was good in the sense of it was a cool career opportunity, afforded a lot of opportunities my way. But it was hard in the sense of being pregnant and having to work 15 plus hour days. I think I sacrificed probably more than I should have. Sacrificed my health, sacrificed just time with my older kid before she had her sibling. And so that was a piece looking back that maybe I would have done things a little bit different. I mean, right now I have the career still. I have the 2 children, so I'm good. But that's one where I probably did put career first opposed to everything else.
Absolutely. Those are long hours.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a lot. And I will say, closing out that story, when I was on mat leave, I did find a new role, same org, but at least a new role where I was able to find myself in the sense of prioritize that balance. And I am not, for the most part, working 15 plus hours. And I'm not pregnant right now either, but it is good that I am not working those hours consistently.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Work-life balance is very important.
Yeah, especially as a mom.
Yeah.
And it's finding that balance. I think that's the harder part because it sounds great.
Yeah.
You know, like I was supposed to, relax today and then I woke up and it just was like ping, 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 ping. So,
And then you're here.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Right. And my day is not over.
Exactly.
You
Yes.
know, it's actually something that I feel like we can find from the Gen Zs because they prioritize their life way more over work, I feel like, and we're in a different generation.
Yeah, so hopefully they help swing that pendulum a little bit.
Absolutely. I think it helps.
Yeah. All right, we're going to switch gears, go a little bit deeper with our last kind of question of at least this series. What did you ladies discover about yourself as a person maybe at a low point during a journey? Again, kind of keeping that theme of just milestones and owning your own timeline. Do you want to start, Nyasia?
Sure. So I wouldn't call it a low point. I would just say more of a self-discovery point. My husband and I, we got together when I was 17 and he was 18. So we were babies.
Yeah.
We thought we were grown, but we weren't. But I found as I looked back, I thought it was cute. Oh, you're the girlfriend, right? And it was like, oh, you're the fiance. Then you're the mom. And then I'm like, wait, hold up. I have a whole name, right? Yeah. And I like my name. And so I had to then begin to redefine who I was for me as first I'm a woman, I'm a person, and then these other titles come. And so I think I like to call it more of a self-discovery phase of, that growth, which is necessary and needed. But at the end of the day, I found what works for me, and I love that.
At what point did you discover that?
I would say after probably having my daughter.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
because, we bask in that, oh, it's cute, the girlfriend, the fiance, you love these titles. But then I'm looking at all the work, right? And I'm like, wait, I'm forgetting about me. And I think it was that. It was, I was forgetting about me. I would still take care of myself in terms of, going to the hairdresser and doing those things. But it's the things that money can't buy. That peace I was missing. And I realized it was because I wasn't doing anything for me. I wasn't, I love going to the movies, right? Yeah. And it was always, everything had to be done together, my husband's friends were my friends were his friends,
right?
Everything was together. And it was like, well, what do you like? I hadn't even gone on a girls trip at that time,
right?
It was like, I have to start finding what I like. So I literally made a list.
I can relate to that.
Yeah,
hugely. Like with my son's father, he wanted me to do everything with his friends, but he wouldn't give me that same respect from my friends and what I liked. And that was really detrimental to our relationship. Absolutely.
No, I think you make a good point in that, because while my husband was supportive of like he would say, go hang out with your friends, and I'm like, I'm just gonna call your friend because that's who, we're all friends, right? But it still was like, hey, just some girls hanging out, but I think we just get so defined by what we do and these titles that like I said, now I'm
Look
like,
at you now. Look at us here.
Exactly.
See?
Like even doing this. Like I was like, oh snap, I can't have a hobby. Like, you know.
It's a good hobby too.
I could do a sport, you know, to a limit, you know, but
I was like, what sport are we doing?
yeah, I don't know. Personal trainer is kicking my butt right now.
There you go.
But yeah, I get you, right? And it's like when you have that realization, oh, you're unstoppable.
You know what's really crazy about women? It's like self-care is not just about taking care of yourself. It's also, like you said, having that defining moment of, what do I want in this relationship, in this world? I felt really trapped with my son's father because we only did things with his friends. We only did trips with his friends. And anytime I tried to introduce my friends into the equation, it didn't really end up well.
Yeah.
And it was very hard. And even when we broke up, because we were not married, we were engaged, we had, you know, some challenges along the way, a few, maybe a lot. And it was really difficult when we broke up because all of the people that we did things with disappeared from my life.
Oh, they had to choose sides.
Absolutely.
That's why it's important. You only have yourself. You got to take care of yourself. At the end of the day, that's the biggest. Yeah.
And it's like, what was I to these people?
Yeah.
Was I just like a sideshow? Like, did I not have any value in any of this? So it was really disappointing for me. Even with, you know, unfortunately, my sister and I, we had a rift also because his best friend was my sister's boyfriend.
Yeah, no, there's a lot there. A lot to unpack.
So how did you find your way back to you?
You know, I'm very strong, I feel like. I've always done things my way. And I just continued. I'm like, oh, I like cars. Let's just go buy cars. Let's make myself happy, you know? Like,
it is okay to do material things that bring you joy.
Absolutely.
If I get a pair of shoes that bring me joy, you know what? It is worth the money. Just putting that out there.
You know, I told my ex-husband before we got married, not my son's father, let's just be clear.
That's okay. It's okay. We can put it all out there. It's cool.
I'm an oversharer. I told him before we got married, I'm like, listen, I'm always gonna have a car payment. I love cars. I always want the newest, baddest thing that, like, I love to drive, and I love to drive.
Sure.
You know, some people are just like, cool, I just want something that gets good gas mileage, and I'm like, no, I want it to, like, feel something when
A wow factor.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, I will say, I'm going to go in terms of the low point piece. I'm going to bring it back to career. For whatever reason, today we are talking about my career, and it is okay, because we are going to go back and forth, because I am in the tech world and I'm a mama.
Absolutely.
It's and, not an or. For me, I will say I'm ambitious. It's in the name. I own it. Although people have asked why and question it, I still own it. And I will say there have often been times where I didn't get what I wanted. I didn't get promoted. I didn't get a team. I didn't get that next big role. And for me, it's just figuring out what do I need to do in the moment. It can be go and cry in a corner, get upset, do what I need to do, and then pick myself back up and really own that resiliency, which is why when I talk about my kid's hat, meaning the swimming hat, bringing that back, goodness gracious,
I love it.
She needs to know what it feels like to be defeated and also know what it feels like to achieve after being defeated. And
Rise
that
up.
is something, that is something that I have owned throughout my career and I will keep owning because those low points make the high points better. So that's big.
I do have to ask you, how was your mom with your career? Was she supportive or...
We unpacking I don't know if we have enough time to unpack my Asian mom story, but...
I'm going to throw it out there.
It's
you
okay.
can throw it back if you don't like it.
No. Oh, that's a good question. I'm going to put it as a big topic, but I will say, at least initially, I mentioned in a previous episode that Filipinos are a little more hierarchical by nature.
Right.
And so with that in mind, I will say she doesn't like me speaking up. Not to say that it's right or wrong, but I'm very boisterous. I will speak my mind. I will move forward. I will push. I will challenge. And that's just not the Filipino culture, which is okay. There's no right or wrong.
Is that the Filipino culture for men also?
No, I would say Filipino woman's very different than Filipino man.
Okay.
That's probably fair. Yeah.
I'm just curious.
So, yeah, I mean, if we really want to talk real talk, my mom wanted me to be a nurse because if you ever go to a hospital especially here in the Pacific Northwest, a lot of the nurses are Filipinos. And it is because it is a mother's dream when you are a Filipino mom to become a nurse. And I respect the people that are nurses. I don't do blood. I don't do guts. I cannot, I can't emotionally detach myself from people like that. I can do all of it. Ooh, so fine. You know what? My Filipino mom would be super happy with you. But with me, I knew from a young age I couldn't do it. And
I'm up for adoption.
No, so. Right, you know what? That works. It works. I'll let her know. But yeah, I would say, that's okay. And I detach myself. And it goes back to what Nyasia said in the sense of you got to know who you are. You got to know what drives you. You got to know how to take care of yourself. And if my mom wanted to be a nurse and that's not me, that's okay.
I think that's great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to take it a little bit different step in the sense of we like to usually end with a cool segment. At least we think it's cool because we're biased. Right. Of this or that mom's
edition. We're not regular moms.
Right, exactly.
We are cool moms. It is this or that mom's edition. So we are going to tee it up this time with when you're having a mom moment. We don't have to, I think, explain what that means. Everybody knows what a mom moment means. What is your drink of choice? Nyasia, you want to kick us off with that?
Sure. So if you know me, you know I always have tea with me. It could be 100 degrees or 20 degrees. I always have tea with me.
It's hot tea?
Hot tea, yes.
Okay.
And it can vary from chamomile, peppermint, green, doesn't matter, as long as it's tea. Except for ginger. Ginger is too strong.
All right,
I agree with that.
But when you add wine to the tea, that's a whole different situation.
It is indeed a situation. Yes. I will say that. And I am excited to say I was there for the moment when Nyasia discovered her situation.
I was about to say, yes, you're the one who helped me to discover the love.
And it
was the first time?
The first time was with me.
Okay.
And it was not intentional for anybody that's curious. It was, I had wine. Nyasia had not finished her tea yet. And I said, you want to wait until you're done with your tea? And she said, nope, pour it right in. And look at that. The Nyasia concoction was discovered, and here we are.
Yes. So if you want a glass, just let me know. It's amazing.
You know what? Things are objective. It's cool.
Do you have a preference
you haven't
on
tried
tea
it.
and wine?
That's true. I have
I feel
not.
Like mint might be a little much.
No, mint
and
is
rosé.
good.
God, could you imagine?
But see, I'm not even a big wine. I'm not a big alcohol drinker as a whole. And with wine, I only like the super sugary sweet kinds.
Yeah, I guess
so
that's
it goes
true.
with tea. It's a sweetener.
Right. My boyfriend's the same way.
See, so there you go. It's a sweetener for the tea.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So see, we may have something else there.
There you go. All right, Bree, what about you?
I just have to pause for a second because we were all at a Sounders game together and we were drinking some wine. Barbieto and I, and Nyasia was drinking tea, and the same thing happened. We were like, "Do you want some wine?" It's totally
pour
optional.
it right in.
We're not a pusher. I mean, sometimes, but not that moment. And pour it right in. And I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" Hold for a minute.
Yes. Yeah, and there we are. There we are.
You know, like friends shouldn't judge friends. Like, I'm just gonna pour that wine right on in.
Exactly, and. Yeah, nothing surprises me now. It's good. It's good.
No.
All right, Brie, we know that your drink of choice, I'm assuming, is not wine with tea. So what is yours?
Until you try it.
But
go ahead.
I also did not try it.
You know what? For a future episode,
we're going to try
I'm going to try wine with tea with you. That is going to be our thing.
There we go.
We're going to watch how my face
Yes.
I can't wait for that episode. You
Exactly.
have to let me know
You have to come back. No, you got to come back for it.
I'll be back.
Because you was part of that issue. So go.
Oh. Yeah, I'm very honored to be here as their first guest. I just wanted to tell you, ladies, it's been really fun. My drink of choice is typically wine or vodka or tequila. Like, I do love me, so I love myself. I love myself a good margarita. Okay. So I do love tequila, like a nice reposado. But I do love all wine. I have a lot of wine, usually at home.
There you go. So we just covered all the different types of alcohols. I like it.
Yeah. Right, you just made me think, right? So when I do want to drink, it's going to be sugary. I like sugar. Like a pina colada.
Oh, I can get you. I also love whipped vodka.
Yes. I've had that, yes.
You did that in a little orange juice. Tastes like Orange Julius.
Okay, fancy.
You could do it with root beer. It's like a root beer float.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sugar.
But it's the best.
Dirty Shirley's.
I will say
Did
when
you
we
say
went
Dirty Shirley?
Yeah, so it's a
Dirty
Shirley
Shirley's.
Temple.
Oh yeah, I love it.
I will say when we went wine tasting once, Nyasia and I, she asked for the sweetest thing they had. And the lady brought out pog juice.
What?
No wine, just pog juice.
No,
said,
she
"Is this
did
what
not.
you want?"
That's hysterical.
Yes.
yeah.
And then we had to go into a thing with Nyasia on what is pog juice. So I'm just saying, never a dull moment when we go out with Nyasia.
Hopefully you're going to have a good time.
It's
Guaranteed.
always a good time.
But I
Absolutely.
did write the lady a nice review.
You
Aw.
did.
You know, reviews
Yes.
are important.
Yes,
Absolutely.
they
So,
are. Yes.
She was really great, really patient. And so I liked her a lot.
Yeah,
so.
she had the shot of pog juice all ready for you.
You know what's funny? I actually didn't know what pog juice was until a few years ago. I just thought it was pog juice. I didn't know it stood for anything.
That's okay. But at a winery, I would not expect for them to have that. So.
Absolutely
I
not.
don't even remember what it meant. So
That's
don't
okay.
worry.
That's okay. Future episode topic.
Pog.
Pog. We will talk about Pog, and I will take a drink of wine and tea. Boy,
Yes.
we are lining up our future topics.
So, Barbieto, what's your drink of choice?
Yes. Mine is simple. It's rosé. Yes, rosé all day. That is me. Doesn't matter the season. I know some people like that for summer and spring. Doesn't matter. People come to my house. They know they bring rosé. So super simple.
Check.
Exactly.
Got it.
All right, we are coming to the close of our episode, and the last thing that we like to do is a standing topic, which we started actually last episode, on episode 2, which is highlighting a business that is local and owned by moms. So given, Bree, that you are here with us, yes, we'd love to plug for you Hangover Gear, which is how you recover in style. And that's the biggest piece, I think. Moms that have fun, or when you were telling me about it, I think the only words that came out of your mouth, people like you and me. And that was it. So Hangover Gear, and plugging that business for you.
Yeah, I also love dad jokes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Is
know.
that part of it or just a statement?
I think it's just me. So like, if it's punny,
There you go.
okay.
Okay.
real
I thought we were just making a
funny.
statement.
I had a path. I'm going down.
Okay. And you brought some gifts for Nyasia and I, didn't you?
I sure did.
You wanna
and
show
I'm
'em off?
also wearing
Oh, there you go. Showing it off.
my proud gear. It says champagne, the gateway drink.
Look at that. That is cute.
I just want to let you know we are on Instagram. We do have a website. The website is not functional. You cannot do anything. You cannot buy anything. It's basically a pilot program
But
at
it's
this
there.
point.
It's
But it's
there.
there, right?
It's
But
there.
if you love this episode and you're interested, hit me up. We'll make you some fun stuff.
I love it. And thank you for the gifts. We've got a couple good ones.
Yeah, so I made some custom sweatshirts for Nyasia and Barbieto based on them specifically. So this is not going to be available in the shop, but
It's customized is what we're saying.
There we
exactly. We gotta. I'll bring the tea.
Ooh, look at that. Look at that.
Love it.
And that's for Nyasia, for people that are
Yes.
listening to the audio, not the video, in
That's
case
right.
people are
I have
curious.
sneakers to match this already.
I
I
know.
love it.
Look at that. And what about me? What do we have?
We have wine and grind.
Look, I could wear that to work and everything.
Yeah, Barbieto's a natural born hustler.
Yes, I can respect it.
Here we
All right.
are.
Well, thank you. That is very sweet of you.
Well, thank you
And
for
with
having me.
that, of course, we're happy you were our first guest.
Yes.
As always, tune in to our Instagram. Look us up on Spotify. Listen to our audio. And Nyasia, you want to close us out?
Yes, so thank you for tuning in. We really, really appreciate all of you. Remember, there's no perfect way to do motherhood, just your way.
And keep showing up, laughing through that chaos, and giving yourself the grace that you deserve. You got this, Mama.